Hello, we are going to be photographing 20 quilts today. I'll show you all of them. I will have my 2 assistants with me today. Ooh, he's doing Where's Waldo? But they will be along with me while I work. I'll photograph all 20 and show you kind of how they feel, how they look, any wear damage. First we have this all around the world. It is machine quilted. It kind of looks more freehand than long arm. They're not perfect. You can kind of see that. The main wear is the binding along the edges. Don't really see any stains. It's just the binding that is worn, hand bound. The back is a nice yellow. I like the feel of this one. It has a good feel to it. So next up we have this beautiful quilt. Comment below if you know the exact name. It's kind of a mix between like a flying geese, but not exactly. Kind of like a cat's cradle, but not exactly. Some beautiful hand stitching. A couple of like small light stains like that. Thinner. Definitely a summer weight. A few more stains like that. Looks like all the seams are intact though, hand bound as well. Some minor wear along the binding. The back is just a white back. It kind of looks like maybe some of the binding has been repaired where it was tearing. So here is this quilt, the thinner. Up next we have this beautiful cathedral window. It does have a lot of tearing pieces. There are some stains too. Just you can kind of see the fabric wearing, and then obviously the fabrics here are tearing. Some like stains and discoloration along the edges, and there's some wear along the binding. It has an off-white back, some stains. Next up we have this beautiful quilt. Free to comment below if you know the exact name of a pattern like this. So you can see like there's a line and kind of some faint staining. I mean, you can see the line, the stain line fold. There's a few tearing places. It's mainly that same fabric throughout the whole thing. I guess it just didn't hold up as well. A couple of just small stains like that. Some wear along the binding. It's pretty soft, and then it's just a white back. I like the feel of this one. It's softer, lightweight. So next up we have this larger Dresden Plate. It's in good condition. It's all hand stitched. And then it's got this border. There are some stains, edges mainly, a few smaller ones like on the inside, but most are around the edges. The back is just a white backing, hand bound as well as hand quilted. I like the feel and weight of this quilt. It's cozy. Some of the stains that I showed might come out with a good soaking. Next we have this vintage coverlet, store-bought coverlet. There are some stains. I feel like they would come out with a good soaking. There are some like small holes, some thinning places. Fringe on the 3 sides, not the top, in the corners. At the ends are rounded. Next up we have this lovely one. I've called it a Churn dash. It's definitely like a variation, a fancy variation. If you know the exact name, feel free to comment. Several tearing places. As you can see, it's got a lot of tear. Some of the blocks are intact. Some small stains, but more tearing ones. Tearing places on that border. It's got some tiny hand stitching though. Look at those perfect blocks. The binding looks to be machine done. The back is just a white. This one has a really good feel to it. Just can't get over these tiny, tiny squares. I love the neutral colors in it. So here we have a quilt top. It's an applique. It looks like there's kind of two different color whites used. You got this border. Machine, stitch, and maybe some hand too. I mean, those are definitely hand done. Next up we have this quilt. I love some of these fabrics, these florals. It's in really good shape. All the seams appear to be intact. I don't really see any stains. All hand stitched. It's machine done, well, and machine and hand. The back is just a white back. I like the feel of this quilt. This all feels like older-ish. The binding and the backing does not give me that vibe though. Next we have this quilt top. It's so beautiful. I love the colors that they used. There are several stains. It's kind of a bummer. There's these logos. Some of the white blocks are like a darker fabric. Machine pieced. Next up we have this Dutch dog quilt. I love how classic it is on the white or off-white. It has really nice detailed embroidery done. I love the different fabrics they paired as well. There are several stains and kind of some like slight discoloration in the back of the main fabric. There's kind of a fold line. Look how sweet. I love this one. There are some stains, but all the seams appear to be intact. It has beautiful stitching design. Looks to be a machine bound. This is hand done. Detail on the appliques. I love the feel of it. It's pretty soft and cozy. We have this stunning quilt. I love how it's just a mix of all these different fabrics. Nice tiny hand stitching. So many different fabrics used. There are a couple of small stains like that. Small stain right there too. Looks to be hand bound as well. It has this pink, light pink back. All of the quilts that I'm photographing today will be available on my website. So I list quilts every single Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So I put them up earlier on the day before to preview, so you can look them over, watch the video. You can look at all the pictures, read the descriptions before they go live. Purchase it. When I turn this one over, I feel like you can kind of see some like faint stain lines. This has a good feel to it. Definitely not that super old vintage feel. Next up we have this flower garden. Good condition. I mean, there's a couple of light stains. Just super light. Seams appear to be intact. Kind of like has like a poofier feel to it. It's not super crinkly, like it doesn't have that type of feel to it. It's super soft though. It's all hand stitched. It's hand bound. It's a cozy one. I like the feel of it. Even if it's not super crinkly, it still like has a good feel to it. Next up we have this improved 9 patch. The bright purple and a mix of so many fabrics. It's well put together. There are a couple of like loose seams. Didn't see any tearing fabrics though. I don't think I saw any stains either. Sweet fabric. It's good hand stitches, sheen, and hand stitched in there. This cozy one, it's kind of like a medium, kind of got a fluffier feel to it. Next Next we have this beautiful classic red basket quilt. It's in good condition. I feel like the video makes these fabrics look way darker than they are, so make sure you look at the pictures on the website for more accurate. Those look like some of the points. Get pieced very well. Let's see here. It has some tiny stitches. Looks like it's just got these 2 line stitches all the way across. There are a couple of like light stains. You can kind of see it. They're really hard to see. Some like slight discoloration along the edges. Also very faint. And we've got just white on the back, hand bound. When you look at the back, you can kind of see there's like some thinning in the batting inside. Be careful if you wash it, it might start to knot inside. Mainly if you like dried it in the dryer, they're worse to knot. Love the feel of this one. Such a good quilt. Next up we have this basket quilt. These are all pointed up and these are pointed down. So we have pretty small pieces and lovely quilting design. There are some stains throughout. Also look at these stitches. I love the block border that they did around the edges. Different quilt pattern up there. So many different fabrics used. Love the baskets. Like that one has some errors in it. They did it upside down. The arm. The back is just white and it is all hand bound. I flipped it over. You can see, hey bud, some of the stain lines. The fold lines there. This one has a really good feel to it, good crinkle. Next we have this stunning classic log cabin. Very well done. I didn't see any tearing places. The fabric's still older. Just have that look to them. Some tiny, tiny stitches in there. Let's see them better on this dark. A couple of like faint stains. See some faint stains. The back is this blue fabric. It's hand bound as well. So on the back there are these lines. It kind of looks like the ends of each piece of this blue fabric gets like there's like a light. You can kind of see it here too when the fabrics connect. So this is 2 different pieces here. This quilt I mean, it's still cozy, but it kind of has a stiffer feel, if that makes sense. Next up is this lovely basket quilt. Like really, really digging these like contrasty stripes with this beautiful floral. I love how neutral it feels with these florals. There are a couple of like very light stains. Here. Some tiny, tiny stitches. Hand bound. And the entire back is those beautiful florals. It's a good feel to it. Not like that super old vintagey feel, but it's still soft. Next up we have this stunning bow tie. It is a mix of so many different fabrics. I love this blue polka dot. Really good condition. I didn't see any loose seams. There are a couple small stains like that. So many different fabrics. These cute cherries. It has some really tiny stitching. All the pieces are outline quilted, each piece, and then you've got this design. These tiny stitches. White on the back, hand bound as well. Really see this quilting design on the back. It's super soft and cozy. It's a really good weight to it. I love the feel of this one. Lastly, we have this small lap wall hanging, whatever size you want to call it. It beautifully done. Some tiny, tiny stitches. Beautiful quilting design. Back and all hand bound. So we just finished photographing all of our quilts for this week. Now you can jump over to the website and actually look at the pictures of them. I feel like that represents the colors a lot better. I list new quilts every Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Time. And, they'll be available when the cart is activated. Go ahead. So, if you have questions, please comment below. Hi, sweet boy. You want to be in the video? Oh, that's nice. Hi, sweet boy. What are you doing?
Waldo.
You're finding Waldo. Oh, you found him. Where's Waldo?
This one.
That's not Waldo. Where's Waldo?